Hey kids, welcome to Glen's Model Garage. We're tinkering on a few old models that I built when I was a kid. Like a lot of my models were in storage and went through a couple of moves from different houses from when I was a kid. And some my nephew got and wrecked or put them in his stash, whatever. Some are gone. But anyways, so I've got a few here that we're fixing up. This one here is called the Blue Beetle. It's by Monogram. And this one here is the Chariot. This one I fixed up. I think I'm missing one mirror from this. So all these moves, it was broken up pretty good. I didn't really paint much of the models back then, so the color changes what you see or what is on the car. Like it came with the white molded roof, just like this here for this truck. So this one I always liked. And this one here, they don't call it, there's a reissue out. I have the reissue. It's now called the Blue Bandito. I guess they had issues with copyright infringement on using the word Beetle with B-E-E-T-L-E as in Volkswagen, which I think is pretty stupid. But so it will always be known to me and to collectors as the Blue Beetle. The actual real custom hot rod that was built is called the Blue Beetle. So this one, it's missing the back wheels. These are the front ones, which are kind of skinny stock white walls. The back ones were white wall drag tires, so they're bigger and wider, and they had different rims. That's the way the model kit was. It's also missing one headlight, and I've got the instructions for this kit, as I used to keep all my instructions. And so it's missing a few pieces. It's got one seat. It's missing one seat. So not sure what to do. I've got some substitute seats, but they're a bit bigger. So I don't know. We'll see. Wish I could find somebody who does that 3D printing and make me one of these, because I like those seats. It's missing one exhaust pipe, and the front wheel pins, like there's a couple little there that go through this, and it's missing the steering rod, which I can make, no problem. I'm going to drill holes, fine holes in the two brackets that stick up here, and then I'm going to drill through this arm, and because the wheels used to steer, but the pins have broken off, so I can make them out of fine floral wire. I do that a lot. So I'm just putting this together. It is not painted. Like there's wood green in here, and it's not painted. This is the way the car was molded in the plastic, which I thought was really great. And I don't want to touch anything on this from when I was a kid. I always loved this model, but it just got damaged in storage. This one too, not a very good job. You could make this kit two ways, with or without fenders. I always thought these cars looked like phone booths. It's missing a few pieces. It's missing, I got the glass, so I got to glue the glass back in, and the steering wheel. So I'm going to use hot Mod Podge glue. That stuff's great for glass because it goes on creamy white, but then dries to a clear, so you can't even see it on the glass. Again, I thought about restoring this one and doing something fancy with it. Oh yeah, it's missing a drive shaft. But I can make the drive shaft. But you know what? It's part of my childhood, the way it was built. And I forget what this car is actually called. Even the wheels aren't rubber. They were actually blue like the car. Like this is the moldy color. And the roof's got a broken tip on it there, which is nothing to repair, but it means I'd have to repaint it, which I'm not going to do. I want that to remember my childhood. This one too, this is a weird looking Corvette Mako shark kind of thing. I didn't really like this car that much, but it was in a box. I've got all the wheels, but the suspension's broke. So we're going to put that back together and just make it all one piece. So when I store it, and I can take it out and show people and have some fun with it, just the way it is. This one we've been working on for a while. This is the early Conal line van. This one I did when I was a kid, and it was painted. If you remember the show Ironside, it's basically the same van, same model. The company just kept reissuing it. So I had stripped all the paint off of it, and what you call it, fixed the suspension on it. Look at this, we put new arms and everything on for the steering, drilled all the holes. Yeah, then we did the engine. The engine's all ready to go. Yeah, so it's got some work done, or a lot of work yet to do, but the fun stuff is coming, like the paint job. We're going to weather this, make it look like a used work van. It came with tools and this high beam engine thing. We're going to paint that up. I'm not sure what color yet, but we'll figure something out. The chassis is almost all done with the painting. Everything's ready to go just for the paint job, and like I say, I've had to take time off of this to do other things that were a little more important. So, and I've got 5 others going. I've got the Richard Brooks Daytona Superbird, whatever you want to call it, with the wing. I wrecked this car bad when I was a kid. I loved this car, and then I decided to redo it and ruined it. But it's going back to original. This could be glued on here for the wing. You've seen me post pictures of this car. It's got to just be painted. It's going to be two-tone from the edges down. It's red. All on top is gold. It's number 22, Richard Brooks. I believe they raced this car in 1969, and then 70 they cut the horsepower on it. So you're the cubes on it. So I think it's 305 cubes on this as opposed to what it was when Allison was driving this particular car, which was, I think, 426 or something like that. So this car was smashed up and melted to make it look like it was in an accident while I refixed all the bodywork, and now it looks like it was when it used to race. And I'm not glued any of the body of the roll cage in place yet, but we're going to hopefully paint the body soon with my new airbrush. Give it a test drive. I'm looking forward to that one being done. I found Aftermarket Decals because this kit has not been reissued since it came out in the very early 70s when I bought it as a kid. The reissued decals with delivery, $40-something US. Costs more than what I paid for the model. I think I paid $3.50 back in the early 70s. The car in mint condition in a box is pushing over $200. So had I not built it, kept it mint, which is no fun. Got to build them. Yeah, but it's over $200 worth. Mint, unbuilt, still sealed. Now the surprise here. It's going through the archives of my models, and we're going to be redoing these ones here. I've already started. Oops. Okay, now this is AMT's company, but this is a reissue. I think it was in the late 70s. I can't remember. It's before the barcodes, anyways. Yeah. I have to double check on the date on that. But anyways, this is the Munster's Koach and Dragula. The Dragula is the one Grandpa used to drive on the Munsters. In the reissue, they avoided using Munsters as the title just to get away from having to pay them royalty fees. So they call it the Overtaker and the Body Snatcher. But really it's the Munster's Koach and the Munster's Dragula. It's the same cars, reissued in a just different package, just a slimy little way to get around things. So I built these when I was younger. So I have now taken the Munster's Koach apart. This is like a one piece right here. So it's not much of a model, really, doing the chassis and stuff. So this is one piece, and I painted the curtains and stuff. So back when I was a little kid, I've already started sanding some of the stuff. We're gonna give this a little dip in the embalming fluid, as they say, and what that'll do, it'll strip all that paint off. This is the Dragula. I gotta watch because some of the parts are brittle. So started taking this apart too. So we'll paint it up. See, I never even painted the full coffin, and it's also the wrong color because the Dragula, if you've seen the colored, Munster, I think it's called Munster Go Home movie, the full-length movie. The coffin is like a gold color. So the problem with this is getting this glass bubble off without it breaking. Some of the glues we used back when we were kids are actually pretty strong. So let's see, there's the interior. That's got to be stripped, and I don't think I can get the dash out, and I don't know about painting the instrumentation this way. It'll be tricky. Nowadays they have dash decals. You can put a dash decal on it and then clear coat it, and it looks like a real dash, like for the instruments. But back then you were trying to paint all the dial numbers, and quite the fun thing. And this here is the Surfboard. It's coffin lid thing that Eddie used to drive, or was supposed to drive. I forget what's missing here. It's probably a light, but we'll see if it's in the box somewhere. And it's got a little motor with a propeller on it. The blades are a little bit bent, but that used to hang in the back of the Munster's Koach. Well, on the show it was just a regular surfboard. It wasn't powered like this. There's part of the chassis, part of the wheel thing's broken. There's the back mags, which look great. They're actually the same. We're going to sand these down and make them look a little more real than I did when I was a kid. These are beautiful. These are just like the show, only smaller. What I'm saying is the design is exactly the same. This is the Dragula's front wheels. I didn't put these together correctly. They stick out a little weird. We'll fix those when we do the remake on it. These are the decals for the reissue. We're not using these, but we'll put this in my stash of decals. I'm gonna just aim this camera up a little bit better here. Hopefully you didn't miss all that. So these decals will go in my stash of decals. I got hundreds of decals. That's the Ford 289 that goes in the Munster's Koach, and it's a little bit small in scale compared to the real one. But we're going to paint it all nice. And yeah, there's some goofiness happening there. I didn't put that motor together too well. So we'll look at pictures of it online, and because I don't have the instructions for this one, I don't think. I thought I had all my instructions, but these ones seems to be missing. We got the back fenders for the Koach. There's the other one. We're going to strip all the paint off. This is the back rumble seat. Not rumble seat, but back seat for where Eddie used to sit, Eddie Munster. So there's the grill, and should be lanterns. The lanterns are that were on the front are right here. They weren't chrome, they were actually brass. So I got to do a bunch of fixing. And there's the seats. The seats I don't recall were white, even though I painted them white. So here's the problem I've always had with this kit. These tires, the rubber, yeah, these suck. They're not in scale like the real car. These tires are too big. On the actual Munster's car, you can tell the rubber are really small, and the tread pattern, they got a really cool tread pattern on them. So I probably won't find any of my stash of 100+ wheels that I've collected all over here, but I'm going to try and find something better than this and a smaller diameter. I mean, the rims are fine. So, but I'm going to double check on all this stuff. But these wheels suck, so these will not be going back on. So, anyways, the back wheels of the Dragula are the same as the Munster Koach, except this has the spinner in the center. Hopefully the spinner is still on this one. Yeah. So you can tell they're pretty much the same. Maybe it's slightly different. Yeah, maybe just a teeny bit. And then we'll try and get the logos on there. Firestone and whatnot else. So I'll look forward to this one, kids, because like this is a very cool looking model. I loved it when I was a kid, even though I sucked at building it at the time. But I am looking forward to that. I think I'm just going to stick everything back in. And we'll paint it up nice so it looks pro. Now here's the deal, I have all the original Hot Rod magazines that showed the building of this car, which is a nice thing. So you can actually see how the real one was built. Now, I actually have the original release of this Munster's Koach, which is like got a cool box and everything else. It's not built. I also have, if you were in part of the AMT Erdl Club, they reissued this kit in a white box with just Munsters on it, and you get both cars again. I have that mint, not built also. So I've got 2 more Koaches and 1 more Dragula. So, and I also have the full-size metal versions of these cars. I wish I had the real car, but so looking forward to this one, that's for sure. It's going to be lots of fun. So there's a Corvette that's going to be done after this Brooks, Richard Brooks number 22 Daytona, the Superbird Chrysler thingy, NASCAR. Yeah, I want to get this Corvette done. It's a Corvette designed by Tom Daniels, who used to design model kits for monogram. He made a lot of the coolest cars they put out. And so this was a Corvette that I once again loved, and then tried to do something else with it, hacked it. So all the bodywork has been rebuilt. It's all primered. It looks great. So it's going to get painted, and then we do all the chassis up nice. And then we have the old Enterprise. I'm trying to do some weathering on it. I want it to look like it's been out in space without a wash for a while, so I'm doing some dirt and stuff on it. And this one just has to be painted nice with getting the weathering on it. The decals for this, I am having a hell of a time trying to find them. I don't want to have to paint them by hand or airbrush with stencils. That would take forever. But this is ready to go. It's just painting and decals. And I might throw a coat of clear on it, or a semi-clear, we'll see, just to protect it. This is crooked. This is not glued in yet. I still got some painting to do. I just have it in place temporarily. Okay, kids, that's it. That's a model update from Glen's Model Garage. Thanks for watching.